Hey peoples, Karina here coming to you with this video. Because this is something that I've been wanting to talk about. Like I said, I had some video topics that I wanted to speak on. And because I could not record because I didn't even know I needed to install updates on my phone, and this gave me so much fucking free space. It ain't even funny. Oh my god, there's a fly. I have my window open anyway, so, and I'm upstairs, so it's whatever. It was like looking like it was gonna rain not too long ago, but nah, that shit has passed. Anywho, let's just go ahead and get off into this. You cannot, if you're watching this video and you call yourself a Christian, but you are doing these things, or if you call yourself spiritual, but you are doing these things, I'm sorry. You're not. If you're sitting up there looking at people, judging them harshly, when you don't know what is going on behind the scenes in their life, or if you go out there and you see a homeless person, you're like, ill, or whatever like that, you mistreat people you perceive as less than you, you are garbage. And that's just straight to the point, the quick and dirty. You are garbage if you treat other people like shit based on what they look like or the time that they had in their life. Because I know some people, when they shared their backstories with me, some of these people actually were homeless on the street, begging, taking shits behind trees, and then they ended up owning their own company by sleeping in their car and, you know, going to employers, going to shelters and using places just so they can have a place to get their mail and stuff like that. I mean, I've seen people who were actually on the street and actually got off that motherfucker because somebody helped them or they found a way to help themselves, you know. But nobody gets to nothing alone. So if you sitting there eating your motherfucking Popeyes and you looking at a bitch be like, I'm sorry, you don't work, you don't eat. Okay, y'all quick to throw motherfucking scripture at people. But what about that one about when you close your eye, when you shut your eyes to somebody's cry? What about the Lord shut his eyes to your cry? Now, we might not say the Lord. See, in the spiritual community, the universe, how I view that is if you are looking at somebody who you perceive to be less than you, or you are assuming shit or whatever like that, and you don't even know what is up in their soul contract for them to go through, and you're doing like harsh ass judgment, you are causing some motherfucking things in the spiritual realm to set up like dominoes, and then your life is gonna be on a motherfucking path to somewhere you don't want it to go, simply because you could not shut your motherfucking mouth and stop talking shit about people you don't know what the fuck. There's been people, like I say, there's been people who have been homeless. After you hear that some of their stories, some of the people that you wonder why they're so nice and so kind and so giving and so loving, because they've been in that place where they ain't have shit. Okay? And that was a lesson. They said that they felt like this was a lesson that God wanted them to learn how to be humble, because he was about to give them so much, and that person had to have a soft spot in their heart to treat people accordingly. A lot of times, some things we trying to manifest ain't gonna fucking come because you will fuck it up because you're not ready. Now, with me, was trying to manifest this and manifest that and stuff, and then I got upset at the universe because it wasn't coming in the way that I thought that it should come. But you know what? When you manifest favor to where certain things just automatically come to you, money didn't come into your hand, but when you automatically, like when you manifest favor, like, okay, with my apartments, that was a month that it was real slow, and I was like, dang, let me go in here and talk to these people. But I was like, I don't want to face him. I didn't want to call him, whatever. It was some months ago. Because it was a slow day, whatever, like that. And then, like, I went from one job where it was shitty treatment because I knew how I wanted to be treated. And so I put my foot down. I was like, no. I took a big pay cut. But I wasn't finna get treated like no fucking dog. Have money but feel like you're not worth shit. Okay, that is not the life I want to live. I want to be happy and have money at the same time. So, like, you know what? You do what you need to do, the necessary cutbacks, and bounce the fuck back. So, the fact that I called the office, right? And I told them, I was like, look, because I had been staying here for 5 years. And I said, well, such and such and such, you know, can you give me an amount, amount of money that I would end up having to pay y'all if I come in and pay the rest of the amount on this day because such and such. She say, looking at our paperwork, it looks like some months, like from, like, apparently I didn't know I was doing this. When I first moved here, I had been living here, like I say, 5 years. Sometimes I would pay extra and I didn't know. I just threw it there, you know, and then when they got new management, they changed out the books and they wanted to balance the books. She say, this month you don't owe a full amount of rent. My rent is like close to $800, a few dollars shy of $800 because of where it is, and it was more than what I wanted to pay. And then when I first moved in, it was actually $605. But the fact that they're erecting a lot of things around the apartments that are making them, you know, more convenient for everything. There's a lot of shit around that you can go to without a car. She told me, she said, you don't owe but $359 for this month. So the thing is, what they were doing was they were applying the extra amounts of money that I had put on the books like some years ago, and I forgot about it. Like, I'll put $10 extra, $20 extra, $30 extra, whatever, just be like, oh, as a just in case or a cushion. And then I found out that instead of paying the amount that I was supposed to pay for rent, ended up paying way less than half. And then that got me back on my feet. Because I was like, dang, I was creating scenarios in my head that I thought it was going to be one way or some other way or whatever like that. And then another things I would manifest would be, and I don't even want to say manifest, but these were seeds that I planted. Yeah, I'll say manifest, whatever. Because these were seeds that I planted a long time ago when I was 27 years old. When I used to be a Christian and I was married to a pastor. We had Bible study at home. And I always wanted to cook. And then so it started being more and more people in the Bible study and stuff because God put it on my heart. Oh, excuse me. God put it on my heart and said, cook for people at the Bible study. And I'm like, I like to cook anyway. So I was like, okay. So I told my husband. He was like, man, you always want to do something for somebody and you can't. And we already dealing with this and that or whatever. I'm like, what I'm talking about cooking ain't no whole bunch of take no whole bunch of money to do. I maybe took $20, made cabbage rolls, like with rice and meat and everything. Like, I made a mean ass fucking cabbage roll, or like a big ass pot of some things. I would usually normally not go over $20 or $25, and then it got more people, and then it was like I gotta buy more, and I'm like, I have to think, what else is it that I can do? Because I used to do chicken, anything that I could do. So there was one time that I found out how many people was coming, and I was like, man, I know God told me to do this. It's like, but I literally have no way to continue doing this. And I'm like, but God, you said. And so just because you married to somebody, this is a side note, just because you married to somebody does not mean that they don't want to see you fail. He sat there in that little office chair with a smirk on his face like, I told you, can't afford it. So he was like, so tell everybody, because they was like, so nobody mentioned anything about the fact they came in and they didn't smell food. They just smelled coffee, because I had a coffee pot too, a big ass coffee pot. So I would make a lot of coffee because everybody there would drink coffee. So when they come in, I'd be like, you want some coffee? You want some coffee? You want some coffee? And I'd fix everybody some coffee exactly how they like it. Or I'd be like, come in my kitchen and, make your coffee how you want it or whatever. Because I had made friends with these people. Okay? And so what had happened was, after the study, because my stomach was just bubbling for the whole time, and I was like, man, I don't want to tell these people. I felt like I want to shit my pants to have to tell these folks that, hey, I didn't cook this time because I could not afford to cook up whatever like that, because we had a little bit, but my heart was so big and I want to do everything that I could do. So when I sat there and he was rocking in a chair like, tell him. So I was like, I'm sorry, y'all. It's no refreshments tonight. I didn't cook anything because, money is low and this and that or whatever. And you know what? Before I could even finish my statement, and my eyes wanted to well up and I wanted to cry and like just drop major tears. One of the girls in a Bible study said, well, why you didn't tell? Well, you can tell us if you need something. And I'm like, no, I don't, because in my mind, because usually before in the past, when I told a person I needed help with something, they'd be like, oh, okay, the mighty has fallen, this and that, or they do something for you and then they talk shit about you. So I felt like, nope, I'll sit there and fucking struggle and I ain't gonna tell no motherfucking body. But she said, well, I got such and such and such left on my EBT card, like carried over from another month, and I've already got a house full of groceries and everything. And another girl said, oh, I got extra monies like in the bank that I'm not doing anything with, like a little bit of this and that. And they was like, you know what, don't worry about that. They saw how closed up and I looked painful, whatever. They both got up and they hugged me. They was like, no worries, don't worry about that. One said, text me a list of everything you need. I was like, well, first of all, I wouldn't even know what I needed to begin with, because y'all are the ones that tell me what y'all like to eat. So y'all get together and find out what y'all want to eat, and I'll text you a list. So everybody was like, oh, we like such and such and such and such and such that you already made. We ain't got to go get together outside of here, do that. Be like, cool. So one put some money in my hand. The other one, after the study was over, took, there was three people, there was a third person actually was doing stuff, say, I'll buy, one said, well, the two was buying stuff and said, well, I'll buy all this and you can stock up your pantry and your freezer so you'll have stuff for Bible study. And another one said, you know what, I want to take you to Walmart tonight so that I can fill up your pantry with food for you, because you always cooking for us. So I want to buy groceries for you for this month for your house that has nothing to do with Bible study, because I got it to give. And that simple act of me always cooking food for people, cooking food, putting it out there into the universe, that came back on me to the point I never had to worry about anything like about being hungry ever again or being provided for, because these were the seeds that I sown, and that made it to where years and years passed by, and I've never had a day where I come home and there was nothing in there for me to eat. And it wouldn't be something just to eat, just to say, well, it's something to eat. It would actually be something to eat that I really want to eat. It'll be things that I really would, like, you come home, you think about it, and you crave it. It's there. So the reasons with me doing that, and then he got super mad and said, oh, you know what? you know what? Well, still, the thing is, you always thinking about other people and shit like that. Like, he was still trying to find a way to deny shit. I never asked these people for anything. I just told them, I just issued an apology and said, look, I couldn't do it this time, da 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 da, and they were the ones that offered. Now, another thing that actually happened was there was a couple came in. There was a lot of things that went on in this Bible study, but I'm only sharing the good parts. There was this couple came in, a younger lady and it was an older guy, and they were married. And when they came in there, I was just feeling some type of way. Like, I felt like after Bible study, they stayed and they talked and everything. They was coming for a little while. And then I just asked the girl, the lady, I said, because they had a little girl, I had asked her, I said, is there anything you need? Because I would talk to her all the time. I was like, is there anything you need and stuff? And then her and her husband sat and they were like, it's something we want to tell y'all. And I was like, what? They were like, you just don't know how much of a blessing this has been, because my wife and I have been homeless for 2 months in our car, going into gas stations, taking a bath, cleaning up the baby, going speak at church meetings and living off the love offerings. And sometimes they didn't have food to eat. So I knew there was a reason that I was supposed to be cooking and stuff. And they were like, your wife always, when we leave and stuff, she always made sure we had a plate to go. Gave the baby like packs of cookies, juices, things like that. And they had expressed that. And then like, I literally cried my ass off, because I was like, I knew there was a reason I was supposed to be doing this. Now, this pastor was preaching and teaching, trying to shut my gift down, okay? Just only used me for my keen sense of smell that I thought was weird as fuck, because I could literally smell when a person have an evil spirit on their ass. It's something I didn't even realize that was a thing until later on in life. I just thought that, it was me having some kind of fucked up function. Like, it would smell like ammonia mixed with charcoal, mixed with sulfur, mixed with a goddamn porta potty. All those smells together, it would make you feel cold all over, and I literally would have goosebumps whenever I got around somebody like that. So he would say, because he was preaching and teaching and doing all this stuff, and could really see, he was like, who do you feel like need prayer up in here, this, that, or whatever? And it's like, certain people will walk past me. If I caught that smell, I'm like, pushing to the side. And sure enough, these people were struggling with some shit that they could not break off their ass. Sure enough. And I'm done with that part. So he was preaching and teaching always about giving and how it's a blessing to give, better than to receive. But didn't you say, and half the people that heard you preach that was sitting there and they heard you. No, they saw you basically have a smirk on your face, like smiling with glee because your wife was about to be in tears because she had a heart to give and didn't have it to give. And they knew that he was being bullshit. And then especially the fact that, it was a lot with that. So being attached to him, he started calling people, begging for money. And I'm like, it got to the point I would want to call, but I didn't know he was doing this. So I would want to call people. I'll be like, wait a minute. These people were like answering my calls, talking to me, laughing and joking on the phone with me. Now all of a sudden they're not answering my calls. And so I asked my husband, I was like, what is going on? And it's like, oh, well, I asked so-and-so to borrow such and such and such, and, we can't borrow money from them. I'm like, what you mean we? I never asked anybody for anything. People saw my heart and gave things to me willingly, and then after they saw me straight, then, and to the point where I could live and be, have a breather enough to actually enjoy life and talk about life, these people were actually my friends. I closed off to a lot of people. It's like I was literally giving to them and they were reciprocating back to me. That was like an even exchange of energy. I never had to ask for a thing. Not ever during that time. And that actually followed me up until now, to the point like I am literally like, I don't even, there is no way possible right now with what I am bringing in at this time for me to have a full pantry and fridge full of food and to actually still have a roof over my head and to actually, there's a lot of things. There's no way possible that is me. I know the universe is taking care of me now. There's been some rough patches. I am not gonna fucking lie. There has been some rough ass patches. But I have never seen me not taken care of. And that's what the universe wanted me to realize before he moved on my behalf to bless me in my hand with the physical with the money manifestation. It's like I would manifest everything else. I would manifest when I manifested some extra hours at work too. And certain things, it's just certain things right now, they're starting to come together. Certain things are just literally starting to come together. It was like a post that I made on Facebook about, oh my God, that fly is driving me crazy. I'm gonna get up and close this window after this video, but I need this cool breeze blowing in up on my ass right now. There was a post that I put on Facebook before, maybe a few days ago. It was about when you just throw your hands up and say, fuck it. Be like, whatever, I've done all I can do. That's when the universe will move for you. It's not like saying, please, 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 or like Christians say, please, Jesus, look beyond my faults and see my need. Begging don't move God. Ain't nothing gonna happen until you just say, fuck it. I know I'm gonna be taken care of. I'm not gonna worry about this shit. I'm finna go to bed. And I pop me some popcorn and watch a movie. And it's just, I'm amazed, like, with the people that are actually, like, in my life right now. They're there for a reason. I mean, there's people in my life that have given me so much that has not even been money. They've given me so much. Like, you could feel it, the love, the support. And it's like, wait a minute. God say, oh, just because these people over here did all this fucked up shit to you, let me show you the people who are in your corner. Even though they not physically putting nothing in your hand, they putting so much in your spirit. And you know why they're putting so much in your spirit? Because you're helping them in ways that you don't think you're helping. Because for a little minute now, a hot ass minute, evilness would come and tell me, you're not valuable. Because you don't have thousands. You don't have thousands to give people. You can't just hit your Cash App. You can't just link up a card and hook up your Cash App and start Cash Apping people money at will. You're not valuable. But that's a lie. You give what you have from your soul, and everything else will come. That's what being a giver is all about. It's not about money. If you give somebody it's something that's going to encourage them. Or I had a friend that, one time she had got too small and I had gained a little weight, and we swapped out clothes and stuff. Or I ended up, like, if I'd go to a thrift store and I see something that fit her and it looked good or whatever like that, because she liked thrift stores too, but she worked so much she couldn't go, I'll go get her some stuff. And I found some name brand stuff in there and be like, oh, what I owe you? Girl, you don't owe me shit. I just wanted to do it. Because shit, we are friends. And if I look good, you gonna look good. Used to keep her kids sometime and everything. He loved it over here. But anywho, I want to wrap this video up because it's been on too long. But I will say this. Another point too, and I'm gonna try to make this video not go past 5 more or 10 more minutes. No more than like 35-minute video. We're gonna try to make that happen. Also, sometimes when people don't know about your life, when they don't have enough information to make a judgment on your life, sometimes they will make up stuff. Like with the fact that I don't talk much these days. I do talk a lot, but I mean, I'm more careful of who I tell what to and what about, because I know every motherfucker ain't got your best interest at heart. And I mean, seriously, it's truth. It's just facts. I had a coworker, if I mentioned that in the beginning of this video, like I say, that would say, oh, you don't got this at home or you don't got that at home. I just told y'all how I've been provided for. So because I choose to walk to work now instead of sitting there riding or whatever like that and cutting out sweets late at night. I mean, I'm still about to make some wings when I get off this video, but shit, it's still early and it doesn't matter because I can get my little fullness on the weekend, and then when I get ready to go back to work, it's movement around. I mean, I still might move around tomorrow too because I actually got a couple of errands to run. So yeah, when folks want to be like, oh, you getting small because you ain't got no food at home, bitch, you don't know what the fuck I got at home. And I asked the question, I say, am I supposed to take a video or take a picture of the stuff I got in there? They're like good enough to be like, nah, we ain't gonna believe it, bitch, unless you prove it. You know what? You are disqualified from ever being a part of my circle and my friendship. Ever. Because I don't talk to you about things that I'm going through. I don't go to work and tell people I'm hurting, I'm depressed, I'm this, I'm that. Because I'm not those things. And when I was feeling those things, what the fuck I'm going to tell you for, and y'all already don't like me? I'm not going to give you a motherfucking subject, a storyline to take and run with and shit. Taking sound bites and fucking running with that shit. No, not me. So, like I say, some people, like if you call yourself a Christian, a Catholic, I'm a part of the Jewish community, this and that, and you look down on people, you ain't shit. If you looking for something to say about somebody fucked up, you ain't shit. If they're going through something, that lets me know if I really was hungry, if I really didn't have no food in the house, because you claim to have the Spirit of God, which God ain't like that. That's not his personality. That is not the characteristics of the universe, our creator. Because if birds in the air get to eat every day and no, they don't even fucking work. And we're more valuable. Birds are messengers of God. He takes care of all his messengers, and we are messengers too. He takes care of us. So if I'm telling you just like that and you thinking, oh, ain't shit happening, I ain't manifesting shit, look around. If you got everything you need and some things that you want, it may not be exactly every fucking thing that you need and want right at that moment. But the fact that you're like being provided for like crazy and you don't even see how, then my dear, you have manifested something. Okay? And I'm in the video with that right here. Talk to y'all later. Next video may not be this long. All right then. Bye.